This is a very quick video to show you how to create a rubric, given an existing rubric that you're going to take from, for instance, a ministry document. So quite often the ministry has these pre-made courses, but when you look inside of those courses, this one is on personal life management. When you go down and you take a look at their actual rubric, it's not an interactive rubric that you can use for marking. It's just a display. So what we want to do is we want to get this and put it into our own personal course, so that we can actually mark things with it. So to create a rubric, you just go into D2L tools, click on rubric, and we're going to do a new rubric. Give it a title. So what is this? Account comparison. So I'm not going to do this entire rubric. I'm just going to do two sections of it, and then I'm going to add on another section which is going to look, that's going to be out of a different point score. Um, so my first criteria, well, it's giving us a bunch of default ones here. So there's 4 criteria that we can work with. We want to get rid of 2 of these, so we're just going to delete these 2. And I never work with just levels. Instead, I usually work with points. I'm going to call it level 4, 3, 2, and 1, but you can see the points below it. Never use this default system because a 1 is not a level 1. A 1 is a failing score. So what we need to do is, first of all, I like to make the difference between a level 4 and a level 4 plus. So I usually add on my level 4 plus. And I also like to add on a level R for those students who just didn't do the work. All right, start at your highest score because you can't duplicate the numbers at the same time on your rubric. So I'm going to change this to a 10. I'll change this to an 8.2. Whoops. 4 minus. And then I go mid-range for all the other ones. Now, when you actually mark, you can actually tailor that to a 5 or a 5.7, whatever you wish. But these are the default numbers that we're going to have. Okay, so now I'm just going to go grab the actual category, plop it in here. And usually it's reverse, so they got level 1 first. So don't make the mistake of just popping it into your first box that comes along because it may not match up. Oops. All right, we'll try and do this nice and quick. And our second criteria group, here we go. All right, so I like putting just not done in the level R. All right, so now let's say the next category, communication, I only want to make it out of 5. So what I need to do is add an additional criteria group, and I'm going to change the point score. Let's switch this to 2.5. I'm going to go the other direction this time, 3.5, whoops, 3, 5, 4, and 5. All right, now I can just put in my communication. Now, what you're going to find is that, for the kid who gets level 4 plus, you might be saying the same thing over and over again when it comes to your level 4 plus comment. Obviously, it's a well written assignment. It's probably detailed, and um, it's free of spelling mistakes. So in the initial feedback, I might put, so every time I click on 4 plus for somebody, it's going to say that. Um, Whereas for level 2 or level 1, and I'd probably say the same thing for the level 1 person. So for certain or certain levels, you might have a pre-made stock statement, whereas the mushy middle, like 4 minus through to level 2, typically it really depends upon the student on what you're going to say. Now down here at the bottom, it's going to score the student as a level 1, 2, 3, or 4, which has its problems because you'll see here that if they get a 7 out of 25, they get a level 4. So that's not any good. So what we need to do is we need to switch this to match the new reality. So 20 out of 25 for level 5. What are we looking at here? Is it 17 and a half or something? I don't know. I'm just going to put these in quick. You're going to have to do the math here. What's this? Times 4. 15. And this is 12 and a half. All right. So now our rubric is ready to go. So we can close it. And what we need to do is associate it with a particular activity. Now, before we associate it, we have to make sure that the status is set to published. If it's not published, you're not going to see it. If it's in draft version, which used to be the old default setting, you go try to add it to an assignment and it'd be like, where is this thing? So I've already made up an assignment, so I'm just going to pick there we are, this one right here. Edit. So I want to add the rubric, check off the one I just made. I also have to remember to give it a score out of 25. All right, so and if you're using D2L as a grade item, then you would set it up with your grades. If you're not, then don't worry about that. You're good to go. So what's the name of this one? It's called Reflection. So the great thing about the rubric is that it's always there for the student to use as an instructional tool, because unlike giving it out in class where they quickly throw it in the garbage or lose it, they can always go into assignments and reflection. When they click on that drop box, oops, is it this one? Nope. bunch of these reflections. Go figure. Hope this is it. Yep, there it is. All right, so they'll be able to see the rubric. So I always advise them to take a look over the rubric before they submit their work. All right, hope that was helpful.